Ladies and gentlemen, hello. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means. We are live on 5 count. It means someone didn't feel good yesterday, so that's why. That'd be me. I wasn't feeling too hot, and so we had to do the show. But that's all right. We are here. We're talking the top five suplexes and suplexers. George, but first, like, there's still some controversy mowing around with Bill Goldberg. Um, he did an interview where he wasn't happy about his send off, and I'm just like, dude, I think it was enough. Like I think we're good. I think everyone was happy. Like I just like, oh, they cut out the speech. It's like show it on social media, put it on YouTube, put it here's extra. All of Bill Goldberg's speech. The people who want to see it can. It's just like that's I thought it was fair. I thought it was a fair moment. George, what do you think?
So I think Goldberg is one of the most controversially popular wrestlers out there because he's very popular, but yet controversially, he's not considered one of the best wrestlers in his own right. Fair enough, there's somebody in every era that somebody thinks that is just a little bit
Yeah,
too much. I'm on a hype train, and they're perceived better than they actually are received. So in this case, I love Bill Goldberg. Like I say, I just don't think he thought about everything that was going to happen that night. And like kind of like he said, it wasn't prepared for. So you really can't blame nobody for not preparing for your whole speech when you decided to do your whole speech right when you did it. And to be mad or upset about something that nobody planned and I'm on a time slot with NBC, like, hey brother,
like
you gotta fucking go. Like,
yeah,
I'm sorry. Like they pay the bills and I understand who you are, but you got to talk to them if you want to do that. So
yeah,
I don't think he really understood that. And I guess, from perspective, you can think of it like, oh, they wouldn't do this to nobody else, but nobody else did it the way you did it either.
yeah.
So I guess that's
I
just kind of
mean,
how you have to look at it.
I just I'm like, yeah, it's good. It's fine. It's fine. But tonight we're talking suplexes because the other night I was watching some old wrestling as I usually do, and I saw the Dynamite Kid do the snap suplex. And the Dynamite Kid to me, um, I was like, that's a great suplex. And then I thought that's a great topic. The top five suplexes. Um, so we're going to talk about it now. It's suplexes with like attached with a person. So it's not just like hey the German suplex. It's like you got to pick who did the best German suplex in your eyes, or who do you associate the German suplex with? George,
So
I'm interested. I'm interested to hear your first pick in this discussion.
hmm I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming because, of course, why not me? If nobody else, why not me? Because who else? But this is the thing, man. We're talking about suplexes, so we're not just talking about one type of suplex. There's all types of suplexes that can actually be entered into this. Now, of course, some of these suplexes aren't, by the person who invented them. So it's just like, I'm not gonna say
Mhm.
that the person who invented them was the best one to do it because sometimes it's literally some version of it that's a little bit better than everybody else's. In this case, I'm taking one of the visually best vertical suplexes out there. A little bit older of a gentleman, but he's strong as shit. Bobby Lashley. Let's go, Bobby Lashley.
Bobby
Vertical suplex.
Lashley, his vertical suplex. Well, I'm glad you added a modern name to that because I wasn't sure whose vertical suplex, but fair enough.
I got to put
Bobby
Bobby in there
Lashley.
because Bobby doesn't get enough respect. That vertical suplex he's done to everybody. He's held everybody like babies because he's just that jack. You can't do the vertical suplex if you don't have upper body strength and lower body strength. To hold that as long as he does is sheer amazing. The man is powerful. The man is black. The man is bald. He's everything you need. I mean, black and bald is going beautiful this weekend. Shout out Derek Lewis.
Yeah. Oh, let's listen. Let's go. Shout out to the Black Beast. I should have worn his shirt. I have his shirt,
Yeah.
his balls and saw T-shirt. Shout out to the Black Beast. But Bobby Lashley, good first selection. So I'm going to go with the guy who inspired the list. I'm going to go with the Snap Suplex by Dynamite Kid. I think uh, I just he did it like I know another guy did it too, but I think Dynamite did it the best, and it's just a cool looking suplex. And anytime I see it, I that you always associate it with Dynamite Kid. So he inspired the list, so he's going to be on the list. George, who's your next pick?
Um, I never actually shared this on the show. I think this man actually passed on my birthday.
Oh,
Eddie Guerrero's Three Amigos was the most
oh,
innovative set of suplexes ever. To be able to kind of get it off on a lot of people and be able to kind of just make it work for everybody, it kind of was just a thing that nobody really paid attention to in WCW like that. Because he did it one time in WCW and everybody was just like, oh, he just did three suplexes. I don't think y'all just see what this man just did. So bring it over to WWE and everybody's like, no, no, no. That's hot. I like that.
ah,
He had it to where it was the only one done for years to come, inspired that move to be something that people rip off all the time now. So Eddie Guerrero has to go on the list. Just has to.
yeah, I like that. I always liked how he really emphasized how he shifted the hips, and
Mhm.
they're always done well. So definitely Eddie Guerrero. I mean, he's good on any list. So I like it. I'm going to throw on there. There's so many. You can't have a list of suplexes without the human suplex machine. It's kind of defeats the purpose. So I'm going to throw Taz on there. And Taz did a number of suplexes, but the one I like, he did the. I liked when he did the T-bone Tazplex. I think that was the one he used on Big Van Vader. I know he did the head and arm Tazplex too.
Yeah, no, I'm
He
Taz,
did
bro. Yeah.
all sorts of suplexes. So Taz is going to be on for like we'll just say the T-bone one, but he's also does the head and arm. So I always liked Taz's suplex. He always threw them so violently and had a and and like just like when he did the he did a nice German too. Taz was a really good suplex guy.
Hmm.
So I definitely put Taz on the list. So we got one spot left, George, in the top five. Um, who do you think? I got a name.
Throw that name out there and I'll see if I got a name better.
Yeah,
Or
it's an obscure name, but it's I think he deserves to be, and that's Tatsumi Fujinami in the Dragon Suplex. Remember when
mm,
Ultimo Dragon did the Dragon Suplex? It was almost like a full Nelson suplex, and he took him back. Dragon Tatsumi Fujinami was doing that. He invented the move, obviously, and I think he did it the best because he was a bit bigger, and he was doing it to guys who were a bit bigger, and and it was such a cool suplex, like just the full Nelson part of it, and like just it was a really really cool suplex, and so I'd maybe Fujinami.
hmm.
Like we don't have a German up there either, like a German suplex.
Ironically, you walked right into that. Because I'm taking Kurt Angle.
Yeah, I mean I mean Kurt and his Germans. Yeah, I mean
Kurt's
he,
Germans
he-
are
yeah, and the German suplex is cool because there's talk, because it's like an actual legitimate wrestling hold. Like it's
absolutely.
something that you will see in a actual if you watch like Bischoff has his and Hogan have their real American freestyle. I don't know if I'm going to watch it. I'm going to see where it's on, but I bet you'll see a couple Germans in there. So because you kind of have to have somebody doing the German suplex, and Brock did it a lot, and a couple other people, but I'll agree with Kurt. So I've added there's a Tatsumi Fujinami, I think, as the Dragon suplex. Another one I want to throw in as an honorable mention. I always liked it was the Iron Sheik's gut wrench suplex. I don't know if you ever saw it.
Yes.
Like Sheik again was an Olympic wrestler, so it worked. But he would just pick the guy up by the gut and just turn him over. It was awesome. So I always loved that one. George, who else you got on the honorable mentions list?
More recently, I have a German suplex that I've like done by a smaller man, but he has real big personality. Chad Gable.
Chad, yeah, he's so strong. Like,
He's strong as
yeah,
fuck for a guy that size.
yeah. Like when he's picking up, definitely Chad Gable for sure. Um, there's a number of people I put for this suplex. I associate it with Harley Race, but to have some diversity in here, I'll put Bailey on the list for the belly to belly or the Bailey to belly,
Belly to
just
belly.
because
Yeah.
it's a cool thing. But like, I
We forgot
definitely think, yeah,
something that might make the top five that we obviously forgot.
yeah.
The perfect plex. What are we doing?
Oh, the perfect flex. Well,
Kurt Hennig, I think, just knocked off Bobby Lashley.
I
I'm
think he
not
knocked
gonna
off
lie.
Bobby Lashley.
I'm not gonna lie. I think he just knocked
Yeah,
off Bobby Lashley. Because
yeah.
Kurt Hennig's perfect plex, I watched him do that to the Giant in WCW in '97
Holy
for the U.S.
shit.
title. I will never forget that match. Now, the Giant did kick out, but to watch it be done perfectly to him
Yeah.
was just, you sold me. You sold me on, you should have won that match just based off the move alone. But
There,
it was a perfect move.
there was a guy on Twitter once who told me that Kurt Hennig was underrated. It was overrated. It's like,
Mm.
what are you fucking talking about? Like, that's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. You're right about the perfect flex. That was one. Another one that I really liked was Barry Windham's superplex. When he was doing right off, yeah, Barry Windham did the superplex for a while, and he did it really well because he was so tall. He would just pick the guy up off like the guy be set on the top rope, he pick him up and just like. So I always like Barry Windham's suplex, but so George, I guess top five here. We got to put these bad boys in order, like number one through five. It's an interesting list here.
I am very interested to see where this goes. Who do you have at number five?
Number five, I'll go with the Dynamite Kid. I love the Dynamite Kid, but I think he's probably
Interesting.
number five.
Interesting. I had him at four.
Who'd you have at five?
I kind of had Kurt Hennig at five, and the reason why I
No,
say that,
I had him higher.
I kind of can see him being moved higher. It was like a 5 and 3 thing.
Yeah. Um,
I can go three. I'm not mad at three for Kurt, but who do you have at five? If not,
I got Dynamite Kid at five, and then I put Eddie Guerrero at four. As good as the suplexes were, I'm putting Taz, Perfect, and Kurt Angle at him.
hmm,
And I have Taz at two. I think Taz deserves to be a
as
two.
a machine at the suplexes.
Yeah, like that's his deal. I'd
Hmm.
probably put Kurt at one just because he was the amateur wrestler, and it's like,
You
oh,
know
but
what? You kind of have
and
to, because Kurt was a perfect wrestler when it came down to executing
yeah,
every amateur wrestler move. And of course, I think
Mhm.
that he was really crisp with everything he did. He tried to make everything look believable in a sense of actually doing it. So
Oh
one thing he did do is actually wrestle, and when it comes down to, some technique, it actually is done perfectly certain ways by certain people. He could do it to
yeah,
anybody because
yeah,
he was that well
he was
versed. He was
strong.
strong. He was wiry enough to kind of make certain things pop off with bigger athletes, and he can get certain things off with everybody. So Kurt has to be
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Totally understand that. Eddie Guerrero at four, seeing that he wasn't the technician that Kurt was in the ring, I can see why. But
Eddie
his
was just as good, like the reason why I put Kurt at one is when he did the German suplex, which is a move that you would see in an amateur wrestler. He was an Olympic champion, and he just had the ability to do that suplex. I think the perfect plex belongs at three because I think it's so associated with Kurt Hennig, and it's like a move that nobody really does.
Yeah,
Like
nobody does.
like people do the three amigos. There are people who do different variations of Taz
The
suplex, but
only person I can see doing this is actually in the honorable mentions would be Chad Gable. He would be
there are
perfect at
guys who could do it for sure. It's just I don't know if anyone does it because I mean, who's going to do it as well as Mr. Perfect, right? Like,
That's the thing. Who could pull off
uh,
that type of persona, and not
yeah,
necessarily that persona, but I think the move comes with an attitude set. Like you have to
yeah.
be a certain type of person to be able to kind of pull that off.
And it's a cool name. Like, it's the Perfect Plex. It's like, it's such a really good name. And he's like, what an athlete, though. But I got Taz it too because, again, whether it's the T-bone, Taz Plex, the head and arm, or whatever version I think of Taz's suplexes you want to throw out there, I think Taz deserves to be two on the list because that was his gimmick. The suplex, and it was believable. And he was like small, but he was jacked, like, and he's tossing Bam Bam around.
Hmm. And Bam
Like, I
Bam
mean,
wasn't no like character.
no, he's like
You know,
fucking
you don't
400
think?
pounds. Like,
Yeah, no,
and
he
I
was
think he T-bone Taz
huge.
Plex him off the ramp into the chairs. So I definitely, and I put Kurt number one. I think Kurt's, German suplex is probably the best. I mean, I might be wrong, but I think he did a really good German suplex.
Um, his German suplex was very, very good. I don't think that
Because he's probably done it all his life.
yeah, I don't think he had any complaints with it. I think that
No.
we realistically say that. But yeah, you know what? I agree with that. That list is actually pretty perfect in the sense of you kind of have the elite suplexes up towards the top. Then you got folks who are very, very innovative towards the middle, and at the bottom you have the innovator. But out of all those, I can see why you have the Dynamite Kid at the bottom. I was
Yeah.
watching those snap suplexes myself, and I'm thinking to myself, he actually really invented that, and they knew it was coming. Like every time it was going to happen, I could see that snap suplex coming. Boom, you hear Gorilla, ready to go over about it. I think that's just one of the things. Like you kind of have a signature move that people know you're going to, and it kind of just resonates with who you are. Like the Three Amigos, like the crowd went wild when Eddie did it. Every time they already knew
Yeah.
when they seen him about to suplex somebody. Oh, we about to get Three Amigos. So same with the Perfect Plex. It kind of not necessarily was a fan favorite, but when it was done, everybody
Oh,
loved it, no matter who
yeah.
you were.
It was beautiful.
It was
Another
perfect.
guy I want to mention, it's an honorable mention. I mean, he'll be on any list of the great wrestlers doing great things. But Bret Hart's suplex, though, like, is it's not even a vertical, but it was like almost that short vertical, and where he throws his legs up as part of like Bret Hart did. I mean, Bret Hart did everything well. So, but no, it's cool watching, going back and watching a guy like Dynamite Kid. I mean, and if people haven't watched them, I mean, the famed match with Tiger Mask from Japan is the one that made. But I mean, I love the stuff when the Bulldogs when he was a bit bigger. I mean, of course, he got hurt and that sort of thing, but he's still throwing those suplexes around, and he could do it to most anybody because he seemed like he was pretty strong. And I mean, you know, just like those were the days, man.
A lot of times you got a lot of people back then who were really innovative with moves. I think that could be another list we come up with. Just
Yeah,
top five
moving
most
him.
innovative moves because I think there are a lot of people who actually had moves that are extremely innovative, like Canyon, Diamond Dallas Page, Dean Malenko. You can even throw in there for some moves that he kind of innovated off of as well. And the
Yep.
list kind of keeps
Oh,
going further back, and kind of keeps going on. So,
yeah, but like
top of
that's
the list.
definitely a thing, and he was an innovator for sure. But like, there's so many great suplexes. Another guy did a great suplex was the Davy Boy Smith. Remember
Yeah,
when he did the vertical? Like, I mean, his
vertical.
vertical
Yeah,
was as good as anybody.
he
And
was. He had one. I think it was. I don't know who it was. It was a big guy. He had lifted and held him up there just long enough. Um, I can't think of who it is, but it was a good match, and I think it was him and his brothers. And it always was them. But
yeah, and Owen Hart had good suplexes. He had, um, yeah, he always did. I think all the Calgary guys they all had good suplexes. But I mean,
something about being
you
Canadian.
know, yeah, I know. I guess you know how to suplex, but I think like it's a move that like I would love to see somebody pick up the perfect flex and like really kind of innovate it. Use it because it's a good hold. I mean, if you apply, and it was always a good finisher. I mean, back when they had, you know, definitive finishers like they did back then. But I loved it. I mean, that's a great list. I mean, what a good group of talent. Might go
It's a
back and watch
really
them.
it's a
Yeah.
really innovative list of where you might want to go back and watch some of these folks do some suplexes. I think that's a real big thing.
Oh,
Like being able to kind of say, all right, let me see what these guys are talking about. Go into YouTube and find these people and take a look at some of the past history. We always talking about it, but you gotta wonder why. Because of course it was great content. It's not something that we slouch on. We're not gonna give everything up to today. Like people would say some of the content today is some of the best content ever. And I can say you could die on that hill if you want, but it's an anthill. And I'm gonna tell
yeah.
you right now, that's not what this company was built on. I'm not saying that it's
Yeah.
not good material. I love Braun Breaker. I love Roman Reigns. I love Seth Rollins and CM Punk. I love all the guys. But at the same time, even they can say that there's some things that they haven't done that they can say, all right, this is what I go back and watch when I'm, feeling it if I feel
Well,
like.
they'll watch the old stuff. But George, I gotta say this. I'm sorry. Like, and I don't say these things to encourage or discourage people to watch anything. If you want to watch like WWE, AW, like BC All Star Wrestling, I don't really care. Watch whatever you want to watch. I don't. It's not my thing. And generally, my idea is if I don't like it, I don't watch it. And I'm not watching a lot of like WWE. I don't really watch AW that much, but I'm not watching a lot of WWE, and it's because I'm just getting tired of the use of celebrities. Like I get it, like it's always been done, but it's just like I love Jelly Roll. Like I really do. I think he's inspiring. I like his music. I like that he lost 200 pounds. And I mean, people who want to watch it go ahead and enjoy it. But I don't need to see him wrestle. Like I just don't. Like I just don't. That's not what I believe in. It's like, I mean, Tom Segura having him on was just bad because he said so many negative things about wrestling and wrestling fans. And I mean, it just bothered me. But it's like, yeah, you want to take our money and watch this. You know, I love Burt Kreischer too. Like, but it just happens too much every week. It's like when they had the Raw guest host. And it's just a line of just like Al Sharpton was on it. It's like, why? Like, why is he on there? It's just so.
Al
It
Sharpton
drives
being
me.
in wrestling at all is just kind of like
Like,
it was bad when they had the Donald Trump thing because I felt like I mean, they didn't make him wrestle or anything, but it was not necessarily the best as far as
almost, but at least he was on the outside. Like, at least he
right.
was on. And I mean, you can't say that didn't draw because he threw one of the biggest pay per view numbers ever. But it's just like, and I get it draws. They do understand it. There are people who like it, want to watch it. I'm just, in my opinion, I'm not. I just don't. Like again, Jelly Roll's a great guy. Wish him nothing but success, but it's just like I just don't want to see him wrestle. You know,
Well, you
like
got to look at it like this. I mean, it's attracting somebody, and that's the only thing I can think
I
that's positive
know.
coming from that. I don't know what it looks like. I'm not gonna say I don't want to see it. I watch everything wrestling to kind of get the good from it a lot of times, and a lot of it is not always that great. I feel like some of it's just mostly entertaining. And then it's not really all that entertaining because you definitely don't
Yeah.
get the full range of what a wrestling match could be. I feel like there's a lot of superstars that are on the outskirts that are getting replaced in main time because of people like Jelly Roll. Not saying that Jelly Roll's a bad person for doing what he does, because of course he didn't actually
Yeah.
be a celebrity that was picked. He just got asked, and why not say yes?
And I
I
know
mean,
he
if I was
loves
Jelly
it.
Roll, I
Like
would have said it too.
I know he loves it. I know he loves wrestling, so I don't fault him there. It's just like again, I always look at it like yes, it's a work. We know it's a work, but like let's But I know David Copperfield's illusion is an illusion, but I still like to suspend disbelief sometimes. And it's just hard for me to believe that in a physical contest, a guy like Jelly Roll would do as well against a guy like Drew McIntyre. And that's where I look. I'm trying to think. I like to present it in that sort of way. Like if it's Drew McIntyre against CM Punk, yeah. I mean, but that's the way I look at it. That's why it's like if it's an athlete, I don't have as much. Like Logan Paul boxed Floyd Mayweather, so yeah, I'd be a pro wrestler. That's kind of how I look at it. But like I heard they're looking to bring in Michael Chandler from the UFC, and I'd love to see him do. It. Yeah,
That'd be
he's
cool.
athletic. Like again, he's a legit fighter. But different strokes for different folks, and that's okay. But you talk about something I don't like. There's something I do. I have to mention this, George. I try and keep tabs on TNA as best I can. I watch some TNA stuff because I knew a few people there. But the best thing in wrestling today, the best thing, the absolute best thing going today, is the hometown man in TNA. The hometown man is the best thing going. I mean, like 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 it's just such a classic thing to do. And I don't know who the guy is, but I'll tell you what,
Oh, you don't.
he's a hell of a wrestler. But
Mm.
like it's such a good deal. It's such a, like what a great gimmick. What an awesome thing to do. I just love it. I like it's a really good because similar things have been done in the past with like Dusty Rhodes did one, and Brian Pillman was the Dirty Yellow Dog. I think at one point JYD way back to Stagger Lee. But the hometown man. I mean, and he's a hell of a wrestler. A hell of a wrestler. So I got to love it. And you know what? I like that the TNA, is getting some pop. I mean, people are like, oh, they're not as big. Like, if they get a better television outlet, I think they're going to be, because they're selling. People are like, they're really working that WWE
NXT,
partnership.
that
It's working
NXT
out for
partnership is
both
doing
companies.
very, very well. And I like the way
Yeah,
they have it actually. I think if that became a more permanent thing, like a little bridge gateway, and I wouldn't want to rename the show or anything like that. I still want it to be TNA. I still want it to be NXT because it has to stay that way. It has to
yeah.
become a rivalry versus it becoming a constant thing. And they can not necessarily say not work with each other for a while, but they can honestly have strictly those rosters working with those rosters.
They they can keep doing it the way they're doing it. I think people are getting excited. I heard AJ Styles is going to show up again, maybe apparently. So good on them, but still, the hometown man, that's my guy. Like, but good on TNA. I mean, throwing a wrench in some people's plans, I'll tell you that. And I mean, I think they got good women's wrestlers, good men's wrestlers. They got a really good
Yeah,
roster.
yeah.
I think they're doing some really, really good things. So I mean, that's ultimately positive. And last night, George, one more thing before I let you talk. I watched the WWE Vault put on 3 hours of Rick Rude matches. So
Mhm.
I watched some of it. And oh man, like just it starts early. It's like it starts with Bruiser Brody versus Rick Rude. And it's just like, yeah, it just goes from there. That's some of his great matches. So if people are looking for some wrestling to watch, go watch Rick Rude matches because he was amazing.
Rick Rude was definitely a fun wrestler to watch. I think he
Oh,
was
what a
one
wrestler!
of the he was like Val Venus before Val Venus, and then of course not necessarily Val Venus in a sense.
But a little bit,
A
like
little bit of Val
he
Venus.
did the same kind of hip
You know,
movement. And
movement, and he was definitely getting the ladies, no matter if they had a man or not. The gimmick was great because at the same time, you can necessarily say he wasn't a heel, but he definitely wasn't a baby face at times. And I think that's just kind of how I liked him. He played the middle very, very well. But then, of course, he was very much a showman too. So I think that's just kind of how he was. He wanted to be the highlight. He can definitely be the top star in any company. I honestly think that Rick Rude would have been a top star in many companies if
and
he
he
had the
was,
opportunity to.
he
So,
was
yeah,
every place he went, pretty much he was the main event guy. Like pretty much from world class, and he did WWE did main events. He worked with the Warrior and stuff. So I mean, he was the top guy. Oh yeah, George, I want to mention. So I guess we're loading more stuff for our Rock Solid Wrestling app on. We're on Watchy TV. You can get it
yes.
anywhere. And they introduced like some of the guys. Like I think we've got a match on there with McFoley's coming up. We're gonna have the Ricky Steamboat match. I think is going to be there. Ken
Okay.
Shamrock, a couple other people that we've had up. So they're going to be on that. So that's really it. And it's more classic, wrestling. So just
Hmm.
tossing that out there, just for anybody who wants to watch. But it's a lot of fun. It's exciting. You'll see my mug on there once at some point
You got to get in
with
the
a
camera more.
with a dirty ass mustache. So it's it's yeah, it's something. It's something. George,
Tonight, we took a page out of the book of wrestling just to show what a real suplex looks like. Some,
the suplex masters.
a couple badass broads that kind of came down in this list. There's some people who y'all don't agree with. I know y'all want to say Suplex City. Go ahead. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. It just didn't make the list tonight. Now, of
not
course,
tonight.
there's some other things that you can always mention to kind of wrap things up for us. Give us
Yeah.
your opinions. Like, share, subscribe. Understand that these two fat guys ain't going nowhere. We talking wrestling
No,
every week, except
not
for
next
next
week
week.
though. I'm
Except for next
camping.
week. Somebody, not gonna say no names, doing
Going on vacation.
non-black things, going on vacation because I'll be
No,
right there at the job. So, you
doing
know,
not.
so I want y'all,
Uh,
well, John, I want you and your family to enjoy yourselves,
oh,
be
we
safe,
will. Well,
don't get attacked by no bears and shit.
no, we ain't
Uh,
near no bears. We're like practice. It's practically glamping. It's not like camping. I listen. I ain't doing that nonsense with like out in the woods and stuff. I like it with Wi-Fi and a pool, baby.
yeah, I don't do
It's
nature.
almost like being at the days inn. I mean, we sleep in the tent, so that's fair. But it's pretty easy. But it's fun just to get out there and hanging. So it'll be a nice
Just
time. But George,
relax.
this was a great episode. Like the suplexes, and maybe we might have to look at one. Like one I've been thinking of coming up. I like looking also too at moves and guys who do moves, and like the pile driver is a great, excellent move that I think we need to look at in the future. Like who did the best pile drive?
You
I
know
think the
what?
top five.
We wrapping up, but I got a legitimate question for y'all. Cause me and John had an argument right before we came on. It was a legit, friend to friend argument. Brothers argue all the time. I'm gonna put this out there. Do y'all think that the jackhammer is a suplex or is it a slam? I'm
I
just
think it's a
putting it out
slam.
there. I'm gonna say this: if you pick a man up in a suplex form, he can fall off a cliff. It's a suplex.
No, that's I don't think that's true because remember some guys pick him up and put him on their shoulder and power slam the guy, and I think that's more what the jackhammer is. I think it's more of a slam than a suplex. Yeah, there's a suplex motion, but I think it's more of a slam myself. Hell of a move. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a hell of a move. I remember my dad watching him do it to like I think he did it to the glacier. And my
Oh
dad just popped
God.
huge. My dad was like he popped massive, and he loved Goldberg like because that was around the time where it was just he was just tossing dudes around, right? He was just beating everybody. And dad was like, "What the hell?" You know. So, but I remember, but I consider it more of a slam. I mean, that's just me. I just don't think it's a suplex, but more of a slam. But he wasn't making the list tonight because I think we got I think we got the goods in this list. But
I'm just saying that was a very innovative suplex. And of course, at the end of the day, you have to look at it and call a spade a spade. Was it, a suplex? Was it not? Um, I'm gonna put it out there on Twitter just so we can have the poll going.
yeah,
Um,
find out what people think.
was the jackhammer a suplex
Maybe Bill Goldberg can answer that question for us.
or was it a slam?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a fair question. Like, it's a fair question. I think it's more of a slam. Just by the way he kind of turns, it's more. To me, I always consider a soup that starts off kind of like he's going to vertical suplex and then he turns into a power slam. So, but that's just me. Um, George,
The poll is out there, folks. I'm listening to the questions. I'm gonna see. But by the end of the week, I'm gonna have my answer, and somebody's
uh,
gonna be either right or wrong. And I'm not, gonna gloat when I'm right. because that's not what kind of person I am. I'm a very humble bastard. The fat
Yeah.
Harvey Dent is always humble.
Listen, I'll tell you this though. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change my mind. I still think it's a slam
Of course, of course.
because it's just the way he does it.
I just say, hey, sometimes you have to kind of look inward and say, it is what it is. But we're gonna see. We're gonna let the folks take the reins on that. Was it a slam or was it a suplex? You guys tell me. I got it on my Twitter right now. Of course, the name is right there in the bio. Of
Pat
course,
Harvey Dent.
yeah. But this part is probably not there yet. It probably makes the cut this week because I've been just feeling it.
Folks, thanks for joining us. I think we're going to wrap it up here. George, what a fun
Like,
show.
share, subscribe. Thank you guys for joining in. Peace.